The etiology of depression. Scientists have compartmentalized the causes of depression into three main categories: biological, cognitive, and social. Scientists have proposed that genetics play a key role in the prevalence of depression. When carrying out twin research on this, it was found by Nurnberg and Gershon in 1982 in a meta-analysis of 7 previous studies that concordance rates of depression in monozygotic twins is 65%, whereas in dizygotic twins it is 14%. Although this percentage is quite high, it is not 100%, meaning although they share the same genes for depression, it has not been expressed. Therefore, just because an individual has a particular gene or a combination of genes that indicate vulnerability, it does not mean that these individuals will necessarily develop depression. These genes have to be triggered in order to express themselves. These triggers are thought to be connected to the environment this individual is in. Going further into the genetics behind depression, it was found by Capizzi et al. That people are likely to inherit 2 short versions of the 5-hydroxytryptamine gene, one from each parent, are more likely to develop major depression after a stressful life event. This gene is responsible for producing the serotonin transporter protein, which affects levels of the brain chemical serotonin, low levels of which may be linked to depression. Having this gene, however, does not guarantee that you will develop depression. It simply means that an individual is more vulnerable to developing it when faced with environmental stressors. This vulnerability can be explained through the vulnerability model proposed by Brown and Harris in 1978. This model focused on the diathesis stress model of depression, which suggests that environmental stressors can trigger a biological predisposition to depression, especially when individuals lack resources to cope with the stress. Brown and Harris found that protective factors, such as a strong sense of community or a close bond with a family member, could protect against the development of depression. Vulnerability factors, such as loss of a family member or unemployment, were found to increase the risk of depression in combination with stressful life events. Another proposed theory that focuses on the cognitive elements of depression as opposed to the biological or social aspects is Aaron Beck's theory of depression, which involves 3 components: the negative triad, meaning patients have a negative view on themselves, the world, and the future, the development of negative schemas triggered by negative life events, and the engagement in cognitive biases. The development of negative schemas due to the exposure to a negative social environment, such as family problems, social rejection by peers, poor school experiences, or by having a depressed family member or close social circle, can thus accumulate and lead to depression. Therefore, in conclusion, there is no simple solution to the issue of depression. There are always a variety of factors that are highly individual that can contribute to the onset of depression, including genetics, negative social environments, negative schemas, and stressful life events. Therefore, each case of depression has to be addressed individually, which is why this type of behavior is so complex, and why environmental stressors must be viewed as important triggers of depression as opposed to any one specific etiology.
Created using Powtoon.